Residents and giving up hope to businesses with plummeted revenues during the lockdown. Countries have begun reopening beaches. On Saturday, local officials reopened select beaches on France's northern coast. People living in low infection zones of France, so-called green zones, were able to hit the beaches after the government began easing restrictions this week. A beach on the French Riviera also reopened for the first time this weekend following the easing of strict lockdown measures in France. And despite cloudy weather, residents donned their bathing suits and took a dip, but were banned from sunbathing or sitting on a blanket on the shore. Gatherings of more than 10 people and drinking are also still prohibited on the beaches that have reopened. People wore masks and respected social distancing guidelines. New rules have been introduced to prevent a second wave of infections in France. Individual activities such as swimming, fishing or surfing are allowed, provided social distancing is respected, but sunbathing or staying on a beach for hours is not permitted. Restaurants, bars and theatres remain closed across the country until at least June.
Assez mécontent, hein. Bon, on a pu se baigner ce matin, on a pu profiter de cette mer qu'on n'a pas vue depuis 2 mois pratiquement. Et bon, après il nous reste la bronzade, la farniente et qu'on n'a pas encore malheureusement. On est en semi-liberté, voilà.
Greece sought to walk the fine line between protecting people from COVID-19 while reviving the tourism sector. Thousands of Greeks flocked to the seaside on Saturday when more than 500 organized beaches reopened. In capital Athens, no more than 40 people were allowed per 1,000 square meters. Only takeaway food was permitted at the snack bars. Businesses not following regulations faced fines between 5 and 20,000 euros. Chairs were desanitized after every visitor and chained down so as not to be moved. Meanwhile, in China, as fears over the novel coronavirus continues to ease, hundreds thronged the Damesha beach on the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen. Visitors to the beach were required to reserve a place in advance, present a health QR code, and have their temperatures checked on entry. In Israel, following the partial opening of beaches earlier this week, Tel Aviv's citizens rushed to the beach on Saturday as temperatures hit 38 degrees Celsius. Early this week, authorities allowed beaches to be open for sports such as surfing. But the Israeli Ministry of Health instructed beachgoers not to stay for longer periods. On Saturday, many people seemed to be in defiance of the ministry's guidelines, although police officers present at Tel Aviv's beaches did not issue any fines. A decision on whether to fully open beaches will be made by the Israeli government next week. As domestic travel opened up in Vietnam, tourists returned to the UNESCO heritage site Ha Long Bay. Vietnamese flocked to scenic spots and beaches, leaping at the chance to travel. The communist government in the country eased restrictions on domestic movement to revive a tourism sector devastated by the pandemic. Hundreds queued up to get on tourist boats to visit the famed coasts of Ha Long Bay, with few following social distancing norms.
Sau dịch thì mình cảm thấy khá là an toàn khi mà đi du lịch. Nhưng mà tuy nhiên thì để cho an toàn mình vẫn đeo khẩu trang.